All right, boys, do I have a one for you? This game is going to be quite the interesting game. We have, of course, the Irel King here in the mid lane. But facing off against the Irel King, we have number one would be Keria here on the Thresh. And I believe there were some other notable players in the lobby here as well. However, the man in question that we're going to be spectating today is going to be the support genius who has absolutely stopped spamming AD support games. Instead is playing so much Thresh now that we do have to investigate and see what exactly is going on with that. As the music not really welcome here. We can leave it on a little bit. All right, so we're going to be starting off in the mid lane with a Cassiopeia facing off against, of course, Illari, the Irelia King. And then in the top lane, we have a Tryndamere facing off against a Warwick, a Sylas in the jungle for the red team, and for the blue team, we have a Lilia in that position. And in the bot lane, we have a Karma Ezreal facing off against Keria on the Thresh with an Aphelios as the AD carry. All right, so Aphelios is going to be starting out with the longsword, of course. Keria starting out with the steel shoulder guards here, allowing him to share minions. This has become a classic item. And, you know, it's been played ever since, I mean, even before the items got reworked. People use that share item sometimes. So, you know, it's just getting better as the Ezreal is going to flash in. And Aphelios going to take a lot of damage here. And the Karma Ezreal lane already doing a very good job. By the way, beautiful play out of Keria there, but not really enough to save the Aphelios. I mean, I guess it was enough to save him, but not really, because he now has flash. He doesn't have heal either, which is something that the bot lane played out beautifully here. I do tend to go for Ghost a lot of the time as well. And I must realize maybe there's no time for that. Beautiful flash in here out of Keria as he's going to hit the hook onto the Ezreal as well. Ezreal now ignited, is going to heal, will be taken down though. The 1-for-1 trade here for the support coming out, but that is still very, very good for the AD carry here of the red team. Aphelios in name, as he will be starting now with a Vampiric Scepter, where Ezreal, of course, only got that tier. Fortunately, got that tier. Otherwise, that would have been a absolutely pitiful recall. But like this, not too bad. Generally, Ezreal doesn't hate having to recall early if the other party has to recall as well. Good trade here by Illari, of course, respecting that miasma. As the Warwick. See, something that is happening here is you have to be very careful when attacking something like the Warwick under the turret while all the minions are around. Even this is your, though this is your turret, all the minions in the beginning, they do much more damage than the turret is going to do. So as you can see, Tryndamere here gets taken down, manages to trade against it, of course, but the Warwick barrier cheese setup, of course, putting in work once again, as always. It's always the same. It always does it. Keria still not yet in the bot lane present. Karma starting to figure that one out now, but they are not really pressuring here, as now Keria will move in back into the bottom lane. And of course, Thresh has a lot of utility, has a lot of things going for himself, right? And between that lantern, between the hook, and between the flay, he has a lot of options already to influence a fight. And then you add the box to it, which of course can deny a huge area with just a little bit of damage and quite the hefty slow, to be honest. All right, Lilia not going to be able to, as here they Re-engage comes out. Keria taking a lot of damage, will end up going down as well, but he is traded for someone who would put out a lot of damage here in that fight, and that namely being the Lilia as now. Ooh, unfortunately, the Karma will not be Doven yet. Well, she will be Doven, but doesn't go down yet. She's going to go for the kill here on to the... Ooh, Sylas, but Aphelios fortunately getting executed there. Otherwise, that would have been an absolutely horrible situation, as the Aphelios here seems to be rushing towards a Bloodthirsters, a change that we've seen quite a bit lately, and is very, very strong at countering all that poke coming out of the Ezreal and the Karma, for example, as well. Of course, also great versus some all-in type champions. But versus all-in type champions, very often you are going to be stuck in that position of like just not having enough damage to kill on impact, as the Warwick will find the kill onto the Tryndamere, will be taken down here. However, Lilia Flash, of course, had to be burned. So far, very good job here by Keria, huh? We saw that in re-engage that he took there, right? Flaying almost everyone in that fight. Flaying 2 people at least. Maybe even 3. Hitting a hook. Then getting himself out of there. Did go down, but that's, of course, doesn't really matter at that point, because he's used all of his cooldowns. It's an okay trade here. But Aphelios is taking a lot of damage. He does have a Vem Scepter, but Vem Scepter can only do so much work, right? And especially that early on, the Vem Scepter really just is crazy good on something like the Draven, right? Because that one just naturally already has pretty high base stats. However, the Aphelios base stats not the craziest, so of course he's not going to heal for comparable amount. Very beautifully done here by the Karma, using that little bloom on the Q to tag the Aphelios and hit that common. Comet is quite the strong tool here for the early game, and we can see it do work already, as Aphelios is going to move in very bravely here as the Karma ultimate Q. Not going to tag the Aphelios here, but the Q, the normal Q, will hit again. Very good Qs here out of the Karma, huh? Sylas is looking for the Lilia. Oh, very good. Very good E here, but it's probably not going to be enough. No, it's not going to be enough here, as the Ezreal will flash on over. Will be hooked as well here, as Aphelios will take down the AD carry. It just used his flash and his E. And that is absolutely great. Very good hook here by Keria, of course, hitting. And it seems a little... If you don't play a lot of Thresh, you underestimate how difficult these hooks can be to hit. And how good of a job Mr. Keria is doing just by hitting those hooks in the first place. But then, of course, his hooks also often very good, very well timed, right? Hit the right target, very well timed. Uses his E very well. Generally just a very, very good support to have. And it feels amazing to have such a good support. On my Plat 80 carry account, I played with a, what was it, Masters? Masters support. That was smurfing, and holy shit, dude. It was, I mean, I'm telling you, dude, it was such a comfortable experience. You could just lean back, hit your W's. It was real good. Oh, beautiful pickup here for the Aphelios, as Sylas is going to trade back the AD carry. Still very good. Although, of course, you would have loved to have that money on the Aphelios, but of course, accelerating the Sylas also not too bad. As that one is going to be returning with a Night Harvester here. Also got himself the boots delivered as well now. As Aphelios is, of course, going to start work here on the plates. And we will find out what Keria decides to do. Keria already recalled for that tempo. is rocking the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, not the Moby boots like they usually are picked up on the Thresh. However, of course, little bit of ability haste goes a far way on the Thresh nowadays. As of course, you do want to get your hook up multiple times in team fights often. As here, the Hex Flash is going to come out. Hook's not going to land. Nice try by Korea, but just wasn't quite enough. Alright. Still good farm lead here for Larry. As of course, Cassia also railroad in a little bit of an uncomfortable build here. Hopefully she's not going to finish the Morellonomicon. That would absolutely break my heart. As Aphelios now has arrived. Oh, the box is going to pick up the first kill here. Next kill goes over to the Aphelios, as Aphelios ultimate is going to pick up the Lilia, but she will actually end up going down to the Cassiopeia. As the island that is top lane is still being what it is. Just like fighting each other, trying to hold in each other, trying to outstat each other. And this time Tryndamere is seeming to be ahead. You never know. You never know. You never know, exclamation mark. But, you know, it is the top lane. Doesn't really have too much impact on the game for any top lane connoisseurs here. Alright. So, what else is going on? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Yeah, we're gonna catch out Korea here. And, I mean, to be honest, like, this would still be technically fightable, probably, but I don't think it is going to be like this. So, yeah, we are not going to go there. I respect it, as Cassiopeia might find herself a little bit out of position, but then it's a Cassiopeia. Do you really want to walk into that ultimate? I don't think so. As the Aphelios will be picking up. The turret now has White Gun. So he's just going to take that one down. And wants to get rid of the red gun here first. Does a very good job. I've seen multiple Aphelios exactly at this point make the mistake of getting rid of the white gun, even in Challenger now. And it screws up your gun order. You need to rotate it out like 2 times in order to get it correctly again, I think. So pretty rough if it happens. Beautiful hook is gonna land, pull the Irelia into the box here as well. And that is a dead Irelia. Dead Irelia King, aka Larry. aka the better Irelia carries you. Dude, I don't know why I have this obsession with making these like stupid titles of like flaming Western one tricks. It's such a toxic thing to do, but I don't know, I find it funny. Because like, of course, it's always so difficult to compare these people. Like, you should never, if I tell you this guy's better than this guy, like, take it with a grain of salt, right? From me especially, right? But even if another challenger tells you, oh yeah, this guy, absolute garbo, like, just watch who you want to watch, and it doesn't really matter how good someone is. We are going for the Morello first. Oh, you stinky. Ha. Are you gonna need the Morello versus the Tryndamere? No. Are you gonna need the Morello versus the Lilia? No. Are you gonna need the Morello versus the Irelia? Maybe if you want to bully her in lane, but are you gonna bully her in a long lane like this? I don't think so. You're gonna use it versus the Ezreal? No. You're gonna use this versus all the karma healing? No, like, I don't know, dude. If this was a Darius and we had a Soraka as a support, then maybe, yeah, Morello first. But this way, it's just so weird. All you get is a little bit of M-Pen, right? In the HP, but I don't know about this item, man. I don't know. Imagine having a Liandry's here. Even a tier, like, even a Seraph's Embrace would be sick, but yeah. I would understand it if Cassio was on the blue team. Maybe she's confused. Maybe she doesn't quite... Ooh, maybe it's the PayPal angle. Who knows? Gonna find out here as people are just NA ramming in the mid lane. Cassio gonna donkey flash forward and will be caught out of position here by the Lilia ult, instantly punished. Is now for her transgressions. Aphelios has to use the ghost. Illari just missing the ultimate. Very uncharacteristic for him, as Aphelios is gonna flash to reset the vision and will get himself to safety. That is 3 of the enemy team down, and all Cassiopeia can say is, well, I always play for the team and everyone always kills steal me. I play so big, I have big brain, but you all maggot. Bad. Trash. That I'm sure that's what she's typing right now. No. Dude, like, do you see this? Like, this habit of, like, picking out people and play. It's so bad, man. And it's so bad because it's like, it happens whenever I watch other, like, content creators. Because the League community is so toxic. And my neurons are just activated. Like a little monkey. I go, ooh. Ooh, I see flame. Neurons activation. Dopamine release. Must flame too. It's not the best habit. Not the best habit if you're a hard-stuck diamond scrub. Let's put it that way, right? Maybe you can afford if you're a hard-stuck challenger, but... or grandmaster for that matter. As here, of course, as we turn back to the game, a fight is brewing over the dragon. It's an infernal dragon, which is, you know, reasonable, interesting. Here, of course, the blue team able to pick up that beautiful, beautiful Hextech dragon. Not nearly as strong as it used to be, but still very good stats, very useful to pretty much everyone and every champion always. Infernal Dragon not so crazy, as Illari is going to teleport into the top lane here. And that means that the call has been made to give up this dragon, as Illari is going to try to get something out of the split push. Oh, Aphelios here caught out in the sleep, but they don't dare step into that river, as the ocean will bring life to the map. And this is actually pretty good for Lilia here, right? As Lilia will be able to get herself even more movement speed. Talking about things being good for Lilia, I know what isn't. When the Sylas teaches you how to use your ultimate. Never feels good. Sylas will be taking down the Lilia here in the river. Warwick right now looking pretty good, but the Tryndamere has been scaling up. Looks very, very scary here. Ready to rock and roll that guy. As this Tryndamere skin, probably the best Tryndamere skin there is in existence. This Tryndamere skin feels absolutely amazing. I love the Nightmare Tryndamere, but this one feels so much stronger. It's crazy. So now, ooh, Aphelios gonna get himself out of dodge here. Tryndamere did teleport into the mid lane, as the bowling ball is gonna not hit anyone. Tryndamere progressing forward, as Sylas now has grabbed himself invincibility here on that R button. Pretty good. As Illari now, ooh, going to deploy anti-diving countermeasures. But will it be enough? No. All the dashing does nothing versus the wolf, as he will just patiently wait until you return to the wave to keep your passive up and then take you down. So Warwick will be taken down. Traded here by the Lilia. Not too bad. Lilia ultimate is available. We can sleep the... wanted to call him Tryndamere, the Sylas. However, Sylas, of course, has that invincibility button still up. Kind of scary. Kind of not what you want to deal with here. And honestly, something that I think he could have used a little bit aggressively here. Because now it's just going to run out without him really being capable of doing much. I'm going to pull up the Sylas picture, and back here you can see it. Right? Over here. That's the hijack cooldown. As This is still a little weird to have myself in that position, but I think this is still the best position. Perfectly balanced, as all things should be. Ooh, we are on the French fry setup again. I just found out that people not in Germany actually don't eat mayonnaise with their French fries. I don't know what you guys are up to, but you're just wrong. No, but you should try that, man. That's amazing. It's delicious. Put the mayonnaise, some ketchup, and then maybe even a little bit of chili powder, dude. Ooh, way too good. Of course, the chili cheese way being the more American way. Also something that I absolutely adore. Very tasty as well. Anything with meat I tend to like better anyway. So these like classic meaty fries, definitely not bad. As ooh, the team fight here coming out as Tryndamere will be CC'd and held down by Keria, as Keria is helping out pretty much everyone here in that fight a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be quite enough here, as now ooh, the Ezreal is tagged. Oh, but Aphelios gonna slide right in. Triple kill here for the Ezreal, as Aphelios will walk into that queue. And Hilary showing us once again that, yeah, maybe he isn't very ahead in the game, but his hands on Irelia are still absolutely golden. So we will still have a lot of impact here on the game. Something that Irelia can do that, you know, some of these other high mechanic champions like the Katarina can't do, is have a lot of impact even if you're behind-ish. Here, of course, the Irelia not really that behind if you look at the value from the items, right? I'm also Shieldbound Blade of the Ruined King. However, of course, compare that to something like the Aphelios and you can see, and you know, behind the curve, maybe not, but behind the enemy carry, definitely. As of course, the Warwick and the Tryndamere items don't really matter that much. They do matter, of course, don't get it twisted, but they don't matter nearly as much. So we're gonna pick up that free dragon that someone left sitting on the sidewalk. And we're just gonna see if we can find a fight here onto the blue team. Blue team has a lot of disengage, of course, and ability to kite out here with the Lilia and the Karma ultimates. As Karma is gonna give some movement speed to her team here. We're gonna look for the Warwick. I don't know if you want to just dive onto the Warwick like that, but I guess, yeah, Sylas and Cassiopeia are not really in range to punish this here, as Aphelios and his support will be walking into absolute suicide mission here of a team fight. As very nice try by Keria, who is actually going to survive this barely, as Sylas still has that invincibility button activated, what will be taken down here by a very well-timed Lilia ability. Is Keria kind of hanging out at the sides of this fight. Now might be punished for that. The Flay will come out as Ezreal will take him down with an auto attack, and Cassio unfortunately not hitting the Lilia with that Q, and that means that Lilia will be able to pick that one up. Of course, the movement speed here coming out very, very strong as a Larry. Just picking up some turrets casually. The Warwick, though, feeling himself a little bit too much, as the Larry is going to take way too much damage here. Hitting that stun onto the Warwick, probably not the way to go. It's Warwick will immediately ult onto the Tryndamere here, prevent the Tryndamere from gaining rage, and Tryndamere without rage, not nearly as scary. And so Tryndamere will go down as well. That is a 2-for-1 here. Beautiful pickup, as this Warwick is preparing for winter, man. With all the corpses piled up. Ay, ay, ay. Alright, we're gonna see, of course, if the Lilia Karma Ezreal core of this team fight is going to reign in that winter. But I'm expecting it, as of course the Ezreal Karma comp, pretty nutty and pretty disgusting to play against, especially if you have champions like the Sylas, like the Warwick. Imagine Sylas didn't have the Tryndamere ult here. That would be a rough one. Because of course Lilia ult is okay, but Sylas not nearly as good at applying it as some other champions. As the Aphelios. Definitely wants people to walk into him as well. So does the Cassio. But then again, like Sylas, pulling into a very different direction once again. And I think my main concern is if we had not an Irelia, but I don't know, let me take a very boring example like an Azir, right? Or let's imagine we had an Aurelia and this team comp would look very nice. Ezreal actually running Duskblade of Drakthar Maramuna. In Essence Reaver, very interesting build. Of course, Ezreal still one of the champions with the highest build variety here, as you can go for AP, AD, a mixture of both, different kinds of AD, and here goes for the Lethality Duskblade version, something that usually you use to keep up in pace and can be very useful if you plan on, you know, being dove on, because you can manage to pick up a kill and then oftentimes can get yourself out of really sticky situations. But other than that, not the best damage choice here at all, not the best stat choice, full stop. Still difficult. I think stat-wise, when you're looking at the gold value, I think the Trinity Force build's still the highest stat value. Especially now that Ezreal has been newly buffed, guys. Ezreal has a full 2 more base AD, guys. I know. Hold your pennies. It's rough, man. It's getting very rough. Ezreal's gonna rule the Rift again. Of course not. Of course not, of course not. And guys, by the way, I wanted to point this one out. If you have any replays that you want me to watch, please tell me in the comment section below. I will be glad to have a look at every single replay, be it a high or low elo replay. We're having a look at it. Gonna enjoy it. As let's be honest, Fiesta is available in all of those games, as it is solo queue. I also, of course, am going to watch the LEC finals once again at some point in the future, but I'm not entirely sure when. Those have been quite the fiesta, I've heard, but you know, we're gonna see, we're gonna see. I was absolutely hyped with the Crowny games. That has been that what is that? Aphelios? Why are you? Aphelios trying to break this death ball comp here, but not really tagging enough people. Cassiopeia is just gonna take down that dragon. Cassiopeia, that eternal support here for the team, will be dove upon now by the Tryndamere. Does hit that Q. Tryndamere taking massive amounts of damage. Will be able to dodge that ultimate though anyway, and that is 600 gold over to the Tryndamere, as now the red team has found a cross map here, as of course Tryndamere ultimate has been used here. Much less teamfight pressure, together with the Lilia not being there either, as now of course Tryndamere ultimate still available for the Sylas, so he can be a little bit more cocky, but he still needs to be careful enough. Keria will get himself out of there. Karma giving her best to help the team catch up here, as now the Tryndamere ult is out for the Sylas, and he will be taken down by a Larry. As now, the Aphelios will get himself out of there for now, but the Ezreal is playing that side lane and taking down a lot of the HP here of the Aphelios, enabling a win condition here for the Irelia, and this is a very, very dangerous play, as Ezreal will pick that kill up. Ooh, the Wolf is gonna try to play it out here, as Cassiopeia will arrive at the fight. The ultimate doesn't hit. Will she be able to hit those Qs, those unlikely Qs onto the Lilia? She is here, she is defensive. She can hold down the base just enough and will stay alive, and thus the game still doesn't end. If Warwick and Cassiopeia die there, the game probably is just over. Although the wave states are saying a different story here. Now that we look at the wave, not really anything available here for the blue team. So now we do have a AD carry that is flashless and ghostless for the next team fight. Aphelios, of course, still very strong. Will grab himself a Quicksilver Sash here as well. Able to cleanse that out, as of course the blue team here did use a lot of summoner spells and generally a lot of cooldowns onto that fight as well, which got them back into a game-ish. Still a big lead here for the red team, but not nearly as big. Definitely comebackable now. Very, very nice. And it all started out with a pretty good trade here for the inhibitor, and then that just little bit of greed from the Sylas, who ran out of ultimate. And by the way, beautiful play by Aleri, who caught out the fact that Sylas was going to lose that Tryndamere ult there and just dove on top of him. If that Tryndamere ultimate is still on the Sylas there, Aleri just dies and the team fight looks very, very different. But it didn't. So very good job as Aphelios gonna throw out questionable ultimate again to poke out the enemy team here. Cassiopeia ultimate has been used as well now. The Sylas can't really dive forward at this point. Shutdown here acquired by the Aphelios. Lilia will go down. Aleri now hooked and caught out as well. Can't really move in that fight as Aphelios, the main member, is still full life, but everyone around him has lost a reasonable amount of HP. And oh my god, this Ezreal's doing so much damage. You do not want to get hit by a QW of this Ezreal. It looks absolutely scary. As Chill falls, and this Ezreal is farming up the Hydra now to finish off the build. Very interesting build here with the Duskblade of Drakthar, of course, Cerildus, and the Essence Reaver. We're not really too surprised with that, neither the Manamune. But the Duskblade, very spicy. People have been taking a liking to the Duskblade lately. You usually don't really see a lot of Duskblade, but now, you know, people are building it. There's some discussion on Duskblade on various different champions. I've seen a Duskblade, what was it? Duskblade Graves as well. But since I just casted a Graves game, I'm not going to cast another Graves game. Cast that Resident Sleeper spell on you guys. Okay. I don't really care about Thresh taking the Ezreal ult, but Ezreal definitely cares about having literally almost negative HP here, 41 HP. As he will have to take it back here. And, ooh, very good attempt here by the Warwick. Now ends up in a very precarious situation though. Will go down. It was a good attempt at the flip here, but not too good. Let's see if a cross map is available here. Lilia already has stuns on the main targets primed. Will not hit him again though. Baron Nashor goes down as Warwick did buy enough time apparently. The Cassiopeia ultimate. Again, just absolutely bad timing. No need to use it there at all, but you know, we do use it. We use that cooldown. As of course there's no way that you want to re-engage that, right? As the Sylas. Probably, yeah, planning to push out the top side here as the Soul is prevented here by the blue team. You know, red team just says, okay, that's fine. We don't need Soul to finish the game anyway. Because, let's be honest, you don't really need to. Although, it is pretty good versus the Ezreal. These team fights are not going to be won by poking, I don't think, anymore. As the Aphelios, of course, full build as well. Together with the Cassio, very good at resisting the shield. Of course, amazing at resisting the Ezreal. As Aphelios using the flash and the ultimate there is pretty rough. Does have the Gale Force again, so this can be a bait condition, but still. Is a cooldown that you want to note. Cassiopeia now. Okay, don't take a recall while your team is that aggressive. Miasma is needed here against the Irelia for sure, As Warwick is gonna pressure a little bit. Oh, the Sylas getting caught out here, and just an Irelia ultimate at his disposal. Not the best ultimate for sure, especially if you're getting chased. As now Keria trying to hit a hook here onto a Larry. Hook that probably would not have been taken anyhow. But still. Ooh, as the Tryndamere is setting up for a flank here. Are you really trying to flank a... Are you really trying to flank a Philios and a Thresh? Yeah, that is absolutely not the play that you want to make. As Irelia is already finding a good fight, but will go down here again. Finds the stun, will go down anyhow as the Warwick stayed alive for long enough. Lilia still is online. But also, okay, beautiful hook here by Keria. As he will flay the minions a little bit backwards and then pull the Lilia into herself. And yes, Larry, you are absolutely correct about this one. The game is absolutely over. With that, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. And I just love watching Keria play, man. It's so much fun. Stay awesome.